Very insightful lectures, and I would like to thank you for wonderful and insightful lecture. Now we will go to our next topic from Captain Sanjeev Kumar. Welcome, Captain Saab.
Yeah, good morning, Mr. Kadir.
Yeah. Nice to see you, sir, again.
Yeah, no, most welcome, sir.
Okay, so let me give you a quick round of introduction. Captain Sanjeev Kumar, he's talking about orchestrating end-to-end supply chain optimization today. Captain Sanjeev Kumar is a veteran marine professional with over 30 years of experience in shipping, international trade. He has led complex global maritime operations, ensuring compliance and cost efficiency across diverse geographies. Captain Kumar now provides strategic consultancy to corporates, helping them to optimize end-to-end supply chains in this dynamic trade landscape. His expertise spans maritime regulations, risk management, and international logistics. I will be always happy to hear Captain Saab. So over to you. Please look forward to hear you again. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Kadir, for such a lovely introduction. And it is nice to be part of this seminar, which I suppose the audience are spread not only in India, but maybe abroad. And it will be nice to share my insights into my favorite topic, which is now supply chain. Earlier on, it was transportation and marine logistics, which has evolved over all these years. So I would like to share the screen so that I can present my presentation today. Okay, I hope my screen is visible to all the audiences.
We can see the screen, sir. Yeah.
Okay. So today I will discuss the orchestrating end-to-end supply chain optimization. Supply chain, when we discuss supply chain or we talk about it, and I presume my audiences are in this profession or they are associated with this the business of supply chain. So supply chain optimization is the key to success for any business which want to deliver its goods through a very effective supply chain. So let me start. Today I would not go into much deeper processes, but I would like to stress upon the basics of supply chain, because I feel it is important to understand first the basics, and then why optimization is important, and then of course the process, the method to optimize would depend upon the organization where you are working. It will depend upon the requirements of your supply chain deliverables. So I'll just start with, so as I said, let me start with something very basic about the supply chain mechanism. Before supply chain, let us understand what is a chain. It's a very simple thing, chain. but it's important to understand what goes into a chain, what are the characteristics of a chain. A chain is a combination of various links. Just remember how a chain is formed. A chain will always have links. So it's a combination of various links, small, big, whatever. Together, they become a chain. So once we understand a chain is a combination of various links, now what happens? The chain exists if the links are intact. Just imagine we are talking about a chain and one of the link parts, it is no more a chain now. One link has gone, the chain is in parts. And in our contracts, when we are talking about supply chain, we just can't afford it. So a chain exists if the links are intact. Just remember that. Number two, a chain is as strong as each of its links. In our context, I will explain later what is this exactly means, what I'm trying to say. A chain, always remember, a chain is as strong as each of its links. Finally, supply chain. We want to know optimization of a supply chain. For that, understand again the chain. The efficiency of the chain depends on its links. If you want to have an efficient chain, suppose there is a chain and you want to maybe pull something with that chain, you want to do something with that chain, or you want to have that chain intact all the time, it will depend on the efficiency of the chain, depends on each of its links. And now, if any one of the link breaks, the chain ceases to exist. I already explained. One link gone, you might have, say, in our context, maybe 100 links, 100 small links. One link breaks, there's no chain. The chain is no more. So please understand, as supply chain professionals, people who are wanting to be in the industry at whatever stages you are in supply chain, remember this: if any one of the link breaks, the chain ceases to exist. Now let us put the supply chain context from the chain into the supply chain. Similar to the supply chains are also dependent on its links. I already said that. But just now relate things: a chain, supply chain, supply chain. Supply chains are solely dependent on its links, on the constituent elements of the supply chain. That's how the supply chain depends on. The efficiency of the supply chain, therefore, is directly dependent on the efficiency on each and every link of the chain. It is easy to say, okay, we are managing supply chain and it's okay, we want to do this, we will send this, and we have supply chain professionals. But always remember very basic thing: your supply chain will be efficient only and only if each and every link of the chain is efficient. Now, a topic today, we want to discuss now optimization of supply chain. Optimization of supply chain, again, if the links are optimized, you optimize each and every link of the chain, your supply chain will get automatically optimized. Focus on each link, very important. Otherwise, you will never get there. You have to monitor each and every link all the time. As a supply chain professional, if you want to be successful in life, if you want to understand a supply chain, what is going wrong, what happened, go back to the basics. Just go through each and every link of the chain. It is obvious that supply chain optimization would require contribution from each and every link of the chain. Much obvious. And the top, you say my supply chain is not optimized, or I want to optimize. Optimization of supply chain, what we are discussing today. Okay, no problem. Go back to each and every link of the chain. Optimize each link, and you will start having the results. You'll start having the results, the required results, what you are looking for. Okay, now let me tell how do we optimize? How do we do optimization of supply chain, or how do we do optimization of each and every link? Pick up each link at a time. Each link at a time, study it. Study what the contribution that link is going to make in your deliverable on the end story. Each link, remember, is doing something so that, and it is contributing to your supply chain. So it's important that you optimize each one of them. Optimize each one of them. And once you have achieved optimum levels in each of the link, the supply chain will automatically get optimized. Easier said than done. Easier said than done. Earlier, presenter also was talking about S&OP and IVP, all that. We keep talking about optimization of supply chains. It is easy for me just to say, yes, optimum levels you can achieve for each link and the chain will get optimized. But I tell you, once you start going into it, once you start working on your supply chains, once you start understanding each and every link, you will find it is more and more challenging. Every step is very challenging. But if you enjoy your job, if you want to be a very, very successful supply chain consultant, a professional, you should be able to optimize each and every level, each and every link, so that you can have a very optimum supply chain. Because supply chain is all about optimization. Supply chain is all about optimization. I just want today to my audience here to get their concept about supply chain correct. After so many years, I still feel, yes, somewhere there is a miss. People talk about supply chain. When I go out today also to consult, give my consultancy, I only discuss optimization. And I find sometimes, yes, some link is not optimized. They think that this is very important. Where it is going wrong or what is happening, I can share. What is happening is they feel that this is the best way. This is the best way to do. When they call a consultant, when they call some outside opinion, or like you, think out of the box. Think out of the box so that there will be some other way, some other solution. Think about something, how to optimize. Once you achieve that, you will find the flow of your items, deliverables, whatever you want to say, is going very smoothly. And that's when it is a good or proud movement for a supply chain professional when he sees that, yes, I have achieved the optimal level of my supply chain. Methods of optimization. See, methods of optimization is very specific. I cannot discuss methods of optimization here because I'm trying to tell you the basics. How do you optimize? And methods of optimization, you have to find out within your organization. Because what happens is Each industry has its own characteristics. Each and every industry. You talk of automobile industry, they have their own characteristics. You talk about pharma industry, they have their own characteristics. You go into a manufacturing item, there again there is something else. You go into food industry. Food industry has its own characteristics. They have something like cold chain. They want to have deliverables within the time. They have perishables they are handling. So they have a different characteristics. So optimization also will depend upon the specific characteristics. Also, secondly, now you are handling an organization. One is an industry, second is an organization. Within the industry, you will have various types of organizations. Organizations means firstly size. An organization could be just a single unit in some place. Okay, that's it. Then the solution is different. Methods to optimize different. Suppose this has got 5 locations within India, for example. There is an organization which has got 5 locations within India. Your solution will be different. Now just extrapolate. This organization has got offices in say 10 countries. When we talk of countries, solutions are entirely different because we are now handling different cultures. We are handling different time zones. We are handling different supply chain methods. We are handling different sorts of raw materials. We are handling different type of end solutions. So then how can you can't just make a tailor-made thing and say this is a method to optimize a supply chain. No, you will have to think every industry, every organization has got its own methods. But remember what I already said. Once you understand that what you have to do, once you understand what you have to do is you have to just optimize each and every link. My each link is optimized. My supply chain is optimized. My each link is as important as any other link. Otherwise, if one link breaks, chain breaks and the supply chain goes. Okay. So methods of optimization, devise your method. I will leave it to you. Let you go back in your organization or your industry, wherever you are employed at the moment, or you are giving some solution. Find the solution so that you can optimize the each and everything. Another thing very important is supply chain and chain reaction. When I talked about optimization of every link, I had put you in a very, very sectoral method. One link at a time. You were optimizing each link. And each link you optimized, the supply chain got optimized. There is another thing, another aspect of supply chain, which is a chain reaction. Chain reaction, because it is a chain, and one link fails, one link is stopped working, one link shears away, one link is not efficient, it will reflect on the efficiency of other links also. So that is what, remember. Once you have done your optimization, once you understand, okay, I have done it, but you are responsible for deliverables. You have to deliver. The supply chain is not standalone. It is a very, very, volatile thing. It is nothing that you make and finish. No, it is always evolving. Things are always moving. So you have to keep monitoring. Because of chain reaction, you please understand that if something happens wrong in one of the link, the chain reaction will affect the other optimal links also. And it depends which link is not optimized or is underperforming. In a chain, you have a chain of things like you do something in the first step, second stage, third stage, fourth, fifth, say 10 stages. You have underperformance in, say, first, second, third stage. Just imagine. Now you have underperformance in, say, second stage. It will have a cascading effect, manifold magnified effect in your stage 10. Because stage 10 will almost stop. Stage 4, maybe it can manage with something because of an inefficient stage number 2 and 3. But eventually, when you reach the other later stages on the supply chain, this will just break down. System will stop and your supply chain will stop working. So remember this. Optimization of links is one thing. Chain reaction is very, very important. As important as optimization. Once you have optimized, always monitor. Monitor because of chain reaction. I will give you some examples. Very typical example, a very interesting example is automobile manufacturing. Automobile manufacturing, they came out with something called just-in-time logistics, maybe 10 to 15 years back. And that time, as a supply chain professional, it was very challenging because it was a new concept. And I remember how much busy I was during those days because I did a job for one of the industries and they kept referring me and then naturally somebody else and all that. Anyway, why I'm saying automobile industry, if you know how automobile is manufactured, it is a production line. Say a motorcycle or a car, how it is. In stage 1 or in step 1, they might put a chassis down below. Next step, they will put the rods, the axle, then the wheel. After that, they will put the top cover, then the engine parts, electrical parts, wiring, lights. Slowly, this thing progresses. And maybe depends on how efficient the supply chain is, plus how big your automobile, what you're making. From say stage 1 to the final stage on the same production line, you start with the chassis and you end up with the full car. What will be left is probably painting or cosmetic things will be left. But this is how automobile is manufactured. You start stage 1 and slowly on the production line, keep adding, and in the end you get a product. Just imagine the consequences of mismatched input when we were talking of just-in-time logistics. What actually, okay, I'll take you away from here and tell you what was just-in-time. What happened in that time is one of the very big car manufacturing company in India, they contacted us. And what they were saying, they are saying, we don't want to have inventory of anything, or we want to have minimal inventory. In that way, what they said, we won't have any inventory of any parts in our premises. You as a supply chain professional, you provide us with the part required at that particular stage, just in time. When we require that part, you just come in and provide. So our say delivery van was supposed to be there so that they can provide the part at the right time and then go. No inventory was maintained. So this was just in time. And now just imagine with this so many parts, one part is missing. One delivery van is not in time. One delivery van is mismatched. The whole production line stops. And the production line is not the production line only. These cars are already, if you understand, they are already sold. This car, what you are making today, was supposed to be put in a car trailer, and sent to maybe some part of India. And one link has failed. One link failed. How a cascading effect, a chain reaction. A chain reaction to the extent that the receiver of the car, the buyer of the car, he is feeling the pain. And here is a supply chain which failed. So this is what it is. Chain reaction. I've been on ships plenty of times. I have been on ships plenty of times. Mr. Khader introduced me. I am a marine professional. So again, for me, yes, I've lived through it. But just for you, for people who are in supply chain, loading of a ship. Loading of a ship is very complicated. So many things have to be done. Pre-arrival documentation, you have to accumulate cargo, then you custom clearance of the cargo, then somebody has to contract the labor so that the cargo can be loaded. Once the cargo is already loaded, loading starts, it has to be loaded in a proper manner. And lastly, they just want to make sure that the assigned cargo is loaded. All assigned cargo is loaded, nothing is left behind. So all this, if something fails in this process, any of the links which I've mentioned fails, the ship will not load. And ship is a very expensive business. Shipping is very expensive business. And you will lose millions of dollars per day, because cargo what you're loading has to be shipped from port A to port B. And this is not going from A to B just like that. There is a requirement. This cargo was required to be in port B because of something that was required, maybe for sake you have some iron ore you are taking. So it is going to some other place because they wanted to manufacture steel from it, some end product which is required. So again, something fails, chain reaction. And supply chain, if it fails, chain reaction is very cascading. Number 3, industrial disaster. Just one. Industrial disaster is a true example of chain reaction. An industrial disaster is a true example of chain reaction. Always remember. It starts with a very small negligence. Big fire was always a small fire first. It was a smoldering fire first. We hear in the news there's a big fire in, say, whatever, some factory in your town or some other town, or you just hear. Remember that fire, big fire, was not a big fire first. It was just a very smoldering fire. Somebody forgot, somebody did not spot it in time. Somebody was negligent, very small negligence, safety staff, security staff, somebody in the crowd. Or if staff is not involved, there was a procedure failure. Something had to be checked every morning, every afternoon, twice a day, 4 times a day, whatever. Somebody had to take rounds in the factory. So that is what it is. There was a failure of a procedure. Thirdly, or it could be a critical equipment failure. Okay, equipment failure is I can say at this stage, I can say, okay, let it be beyond human error. So equipment failed, critical equipment failed. But it should not have failed because there is always in industries, you monitor all equipment. So monitoring failed. So in that regard. So, but small equipment failure, small failure in procedure, small negligence, ultimately a chain reaction, and it comes out as a big disaster. When we come to know, it is a big disaster and obviously a huge economic loss. Where it comes out. So as a supply chain professional, be careful, be understand always what you are handling. You are handling a very critical profession. You are part of an organization doing a very, very responsible job. When you're a supply chain professional, it's a very, very responsible job because if you fail, you could be heading into a disaster, not in the real sense, but your failure could cause huge economic loss to the organization. So what do you do? What do you do? What you should do is monitor the supply chain. Always never lose eye on each and every link. Never ever leave. You have to monitor every day. If it requires monitoring every day, every link, please do. Please form a system so that either the link is reporting to you or you are directly monitoring it, but monitoring of supply chain. That is the key. You could have optimized your supply chain. You have the best people handling your supply chain, but eventually the monitoring will always help. Monitoring of supply chain is the key contributor to a well-optimized end-to-end supply chain. Monitoring of supply chain is the key contributor. Like I said, we started with optimization. Yes, by all means. Again, it is not an easy task. Optimization you have to do. But ultimately, an optimized end-to-end supply chain needs to be monitored. Supply chain professionals, please remember, monitor your supply chains. As a very senior professional, that is what I can tell you. Please monitor your supply chain, and that is my guidance for today. Thank you for your time. It was, I suppose, not very long. I didn't want to take it long, but wanted to stress upon very basic principles of supply chain. And please do remember what I've told you today. Thank you very much.
So thank you, Dr. Thank you, Captain Saab. Wonderful insights, as usual, from you, based on your practical experience. Okay.
Yes.
So, yeah, so now there are so many technologies, so many processes, so many changes. So you touched the most important point about the responsibility. Okay, so
yes.
For the supply chain leader, how they should not ignore few simple things or just take it for granted. Some key points. A small disruption can create a big problem in the entire supply chain. Okay, so nothing to be taken for granted. So I like that word, whatever you said it. Fantastic, because in huge supply chain operations, a simple mistake could cost a company can go bankrupt. Okay. There's so much.
Yes,
Yeah.
That's what.
That's very, very important. So use all the technologies available in the world, but don't mess up with the key things of alignment, responsibility, okay, doing things properly. Okay, that's very key insights, Captain Sanjeev. So for mid-sized companies, supply chain always a problem. Okay, because there is some inefficiency and which they will live with it because of lack of resources, lack of technology, lack of skilled people. What do you advise for them? Yeah. So what is
See, again, mid-sized companies, what they're typically feeling is they think technology is very important. That's what I want to stress today is don't worry about technology. Go and think insight. Go and study your own process. This thing, see, supply chain, Mr. Kadir, it has come now. Technologies have come now. But transportation, we are handling for last 40 years. Like for me, professional. Where where we are going missing is relying too much on technology. Mid-sized companies, by all means, if they can't afford, I again tell them, don't worry, you have the best person because you know the best. You know your company best. You know where your limitations are. That is also okay. But within the limitations, try to make it efficient and come out of it. Focus on each and every one link at a time. Like for example, in a mid-sized company, I tell you, what happens is he doesn't have proper inlet to the trucks. Raw materials are coming inside the factory. There is a jam. All he has to think how to organize the delivery of the raw material. Number two, how do I stack the raw material?
exactly?
No technology required. If it is a large organization, of course we need processes because there is large number of people. How do we teach them? How do we handle? And the stakes are also high in a large organization. Smaller ones, smaller processes, and then let them do a good job.
That's very important. That's very
Yeah.
important. And
Yeah.
as you rightly said, they keep the inventory properly and they don't really make first in, first out kind of processes.
Yeah.
Okay, so they eventually mess up. Maybe obsolescence, maybe losses, maybe damage to the products. It's all part, and it's very important. It all touches bottom line. So very
Yes.
interesting, very important. So don't go behind only technology.
Yeah.
Make sure that the basic supply chain and manufacturing processes are in place. So very
Yes.
nice key takeaways. Sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
Captain. Thank you very much.
Okay. Any
Okay.
questions, anytime people can, I will be glad to
Yeah,
answer.
I'll just repeat. We are live in YouTube and I think Facebook, and also we are going to go live in LinkedIn also. This Zoom is the primary one. So we collect all the questions from all the channels and then try to connect with you.
Okay.
Very insightful lecture, Captain Saab. Thank you very much.
Okay.